So, I've got some good news. I've got some bad news. First, the bad news. My mom said if I don't wash my fedora, she's going to throw it out. And I guess Sadie thinks that's good news. But for the good news, I checked in the freezer and I am out of tendies, nugs, and pizza rolls. And I know that might sound like bad news to you guys. But for me, that's good news because that means I get to go to the store and pick from their selection of my favorite foods. The three basic food groups: chicken nugs or tendies nugs and pizza rolls. Now, in the past, people have said they think I like one over the other, and that's not true. I think people confused my passion of the differences between them as a preference for one over the other, and that's not true at all. A real person that loves tendies is going to love nugs and pizza rolls. There's just no contest about that. You're not going to argue. There's no debate, no contest. Nobody's going to argue with that about that. Sadie left. And so my problem here is that, before I get into what I'm going to do, my problem is that there's these people who suddenly, they used to say, oh, nugs and tendies are for nerds. And then all of a sudden, it's become trendy and fashionable to like nugs and tendies. And so now they like them. And they say, oh, but you got to only like one. And I really don't like that at all. You know, you can like all three. But anyway, I'm going to go to the store and I'm going to get myself some tendies, nugs, and pizza rolls. Now, some people, they don't like pizza rolls. They think, oh, those taste terrible. And so the problem is, it's not even the brand of pizza rolls you get, it's the kind of pizza roll. Do not just get cheese pizza rolls. They're always bland. They just don't have any flavor to them. Because even if you love cheese pizza, it's different kind of cheese that goes into a pizza roll. It's because it's a microwavable cheese. And the kind of cheese that goes on a pizza, you can't microwave that. If you do, it just melts. You don't want melted cheese on your pizza. And so I suggest pepperoni. That's always good because it's kind of spicy, and you get that kick, your pizza roll kick. And so I think I'm gonna go get some pepperoni pizza rolls. I'm gonna try some different brands, see what they taste like. Sadie, come back. And so I think another thing people don't like are tendies because sometimes they're salty. And that's really your fault. Just check the back of the bag and it's going to tell you how much salt is in there. And it's not hidden. You can see just exactly how much salt is in there. And you can say, oh, this one has more salt than the other. So this one, it's just not going to be salty. It's just that simple. Nugs are a little bit different. I was going to show Sadie, but she's doing something. Nugs are different because when you have a nug, they're not salty. But sometimes you think, wow, this is a bland nug, and that can be solved. You can get flavorful nugs. I suggest getting a bland nug. And by the way, when I say nug, I mean chicken nugget. You get a bland nug and get your favorite dipping sauce. Let's see what we got in here. Let's see what kind of dips and sauce. I mean, these are some of my favorites. Mayonnaise is always good. Grape Poupon is fantastic. Cocktail sauce. If you're a little crazy, you go for strawberry preserves. But that's not for me, that's my mom. She dips her nugs in that. And then we got some horseradish sauce. Kind of spicy. That's okay. You got your various dressings and ketchup. I don't suggest ketchup. It's just not really good. Mustard. A honey mustard. That's fine. That's much better. So get yourself a little sweet and kick to it. So I'm gonna now. If you guys have any suggestions on what I should get, go ahead and leave that in the comments. And I'm gonna completely ignore those suggestions because you guys have no idea what you're talking about. But now, when you do go get your nugs, don't get thrown off by the marketing. Like there's dinosaur nugs, and you think, oh, those must taste like dinosaurs. They don't. They just taste like chicken nugs. And they put all their money into designing the nugs, and they completely lost out on the quality of the nugs. And so do not get dinosaur nugs. You're going to thank me later for that. And some people ask, what's my favorite brand? And, I really don't pay attention to that. I just see chicken nug, chicken tendy, pizza roll, throw in the cart. My mom buys them for me. So really, I don't care. Now, one thing that I'm going to experiment with is what's known as a tendy sandwich. What you do is you take your tendies and you wrap them up in bacon, and then you put your pizza rolls in the middle. Throw that into the oven, take it out. You got yourself a delicious tendy sandwich with pizza rolls in it. And so you get the best of two worlds. You got your pizza roll and you got your tendy. And you got your bacon, but that's really not there for flavor. That's just there to hold your tendies together. It would be fantastic if there was some kind of glue sauce that you could eat so you could glue the tendies together. But I don't think anything like that exists. Zaxby's actually has a great tendy sandwich if you've never been there. It's Texas toast, and they put 3 tendies in it. I find it very difficult to eat. I used to have my mom cut it up for me, but I found I could just take the top piece of Texas toast off and just eat the tendies one at a time like normal. And they put ranch sauce, and they call it tongue torch sauce. You gotta be careful because you have to mix it. If you just have the tongue torch sauce on your own, you're gonna burn your tongue in your mouth. So be careful. And the Texas toast is pretty good too. And the fries are good too. Fries are seasoned very well. I wish they would sell Zaxby's fry seasoning. I'd put it on my tendies and my nugs and my pizza rolls because that'd be perfect. I wish they would sell pizza rolls too, but they don't. I don't think they sell nugs. They only have tendies. They do have wings. They have boneless wings. Those aren't nugs. Nugs are the whole chicken just mashed up into one big piece. Wings, they like just cut it off the bone and there's your wing. So I guess I don't even know what my point was. My point was you can love nugs, you can love tendies, and you can love pizza rolls. And I'm going to go get all 3 of them. And I don't care if you guys say that I'm not allowed to like all 3. I have to pick one. This food war needs to end. Okay, it's ridiculous. You can like all 3. And the only people saying you can't, they're the fake food people. They suddenly say, yeah, I always like nugs and I always like tendies or something like that. But then you ask them, well, what's your favorite way to eat them? And they say, because they don't know, because they don't actually eat them. They just talk about it. They just go online for attention to talk about the kind of food they eat because they think it's cool and they think it's going to get them women. I promise you, it will not get you women. I am old, and I have never touched a woman in my entire life, except for my mother. And that was incidental because I was born out of her. And so after that, I never touched her again. She just would not allow it. And you might be wondering how that worked. It was very difficult. I was a baby, so I don't remember what she did about it. So if you think you're going to go into the nug, tendy, or pizza roll eating business to get women, you screwed up. Okay, this isn't about getting women. It's about enjoying food, the best kind of food you have. Okay, Sadie's the only woman that lets me touch her. Maybe Pepper, too. They're not really women, they're cats that just happen to be women. I'm sorry, this went way off the rails because I just get so angry at these people. They think they're so clever, and they're not. They're not. I put a lot of work into being an obese, unemployed man-child, and these people come in and they think they're good. It's just something they can do, and I didn't work this long for these people to fake it. They come in and tell me, "Oh, what you're doing is easy. Anybody can do it." No, they can't. Do you know how much money I've had to spend on fedoras and swords? And I don't have a job, so I have to steal my parents' credit cards to do this. But, this is going way off the rails, so. In conclusion, eat whatever you want. Dip it in whatever you want. Don't dip it. Who cares? Just enjoy eating your food. Sadie loves food. You can tell from her fatnesses.